name is Casey, and I'm happy to be bringing you through a 20-minute warm-up right now. We will only be using a yoga pad or something kind of soft on the floor, if that is your preference, and our own bodies. A limited space is okay, and we won't be using any props for this warm-up. So I invite you to become aware of your body and your mind-body connection right now. It's a good moment to just kind of feel how our feet are pressing against the ground. If you wiggle your toes a little bit, you can shift your weight back and forth. And maybe connect with your breath as well. You can let out a sigh and release all of the stresses of your day-to-day life, because now you are showing up for your aerial work. So I invite you to begin with some head rolls. It can be very gentle. I'm just going to begin to the front, rolling back and forth, feeling how I'm releasing any tension that I might be holding in the back of my neck. And then you can roll up to the top. This is a moment to check in and to just come into our bodies. We can go around the whole way, slowly feeling each stretch, each position, and to the other side as well. Now I invite you to extend this movement and this kind of loosening up of our joints, so that we can also begin an undulation to the front and up again. So it's just a small undulation. If you want to see it from the side, it's like I'm going down and then up. And then I come back and I go down again. So we're just waking up our spine here a little bit. This can be very gentle. It can go with your breathing if that feels comfortable to you. We'll just do a couple more of these to the front. Now we'll also do this same thing to the side. So you're going to bring your head down and to the side and up. And we'll just do on one side and then the other. So do it at your own rhythm, whatever feels good to you. And we're able to feel how this is opening up parts of our side body. One more on this side, and now we'll take it to the other side. Down. It's like we come down and out, we scoop, and we come back to center. And we're just waking up the spine a little bit. Now we'll go towards the back. Or not towards the back. Now we'll come to the front, coming straight and down, extending, and then tuck in to come back up. You want to see how that looks out from the side? It's like we lead with our chin in. Now we'll do the same thing to the side. So we come out, and we tuck in. And we come out, and tuck in. We can almost imagine we're leading from the ear when we're going to the side. And now the other side. Now we'll continue with this kind of upper body mobility that we've been working on, and just bring some circles with our chest. We can do it at our own rhythm. We don't have to be going fast right now. We're just waking up our body a little bit. To the other side. And when we come back to center, now we're going to open up our pelvis just a little bit. So we can do circles as well. And while you're doing these circles, then it's kind of fun to feel your feet. Feel what parts of your feet are touching. Are you lifting your toes? Are you grounding your toes? I'm not saying that you should do one way or the other, but rather take note of what you are doing and kind of explore that just a little bit. So now we're gonna draw a smiley face with our hips. So we're bringing it to the side, down, and to the other side. I'm releasing some tension. I imagine that you might be as well. And now we're going to do the same thing, but with the posterior and anterior tilt of our hip. So we can imagine that our pelvis is full of water and it's pouring to the front and it's pouring to the back. So we can come up and come back. And the music has gotten a little bit more upbeat. So we're going to bring a little bit more. So we'll continue. We're opening up our legs, coming back in. To the other side. And bring it back in. So now, taking advantage of this fun music, let's just feel comfortable moving at your own pace, whatever feels right to you for a second. Shake out anything that you might need to shake out. And then we'll start with this slow cumbia that we're listening to. So we'll do a step to the side and to the side. And back. Step to the side and to the side. So feel free to add a little bit of flavor to it if you would like. And your arms can be doing whatever they want. So now we're going to add a side stretch at the end. So we'll walk back and forth. And side stretches. Okay, now we'll take a step out to the side and to the other side with the arm, a circle. Now we'll find our balance, even though I know you want to keep on dancing, but we'll just swing one leg to the front and to the back. And we'll change the orientation to the sides. Remember to keep on breathing. And now the other foot, let's ground into our foot and find our balance. Okay, now we're going to continue a little bit with this balance thing, and we're going to bring our knee up, and we'll just play around a little bit here with our flex and our point, and if we want to do a couple rolls, just feel how nice that is, that your ankle muscles are loosening up, and we'll come out to the side as well. So try and open that up right here. See how that feels for you again if you want to play around with your foot a little bit. And then we'll also bring to the back. So just grab it. If you want to push out into your foot, that's fine. and the other foot. So let's lift it up. Ah. Oh my goodness, we've got a commercial. So, okay, good, we didn't have to change that. And to the back. Ah. Okay. You can shake it out however it feels best to you. And we'll do just a couple of figure eights with our pelvis. So it's as if we were drawing a figure eight above the ground. So we're just always at the same height, and we're bringing our hip forward, the other one back. We slide back, and we're just loosening up our joints a little bit. To the other side. Okay. So, if you would like to step to the top of your mat, and again, we can just kind of ground our feet a little bit here, breathe, and we can inhale and come up. We can become aware of how this feels in our ribs. A lot of us tend to flare our ribs when we're not thinking about it, when we lift up. So let's try and not arch our back so much and just stay in a pretty neutral position. And just reach up, and then we're going to go down. You can lift your ankles, your heels a little bit if it feels comfortable for you. Just feel how that feels for you. You can come back up slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae. And then, again, we'll inhale, and we'll come down with our flat back to the front. And this time, we'll actually put our hands down and put some weight into our hands and step one of our feet back. See how this feels to you. Find your weight here, find your balance, find any stretches that you might need to feel. And if you feel comfortable, then bring your hands up. And we're going to just stay here in this lunge for a second. If you feel very comfortable in this lunge, then I encourage you to also bring your hands up and back, which will make your back arch a little bit more. But if you want to just stay right here, that's totally fine as well. Okay, we'll bring our hands back down and bring our other foot back to a plank position. Let's stay in this plank just for a second. We can go forward and go back a little bit on our toes. See how this feels for our body? We're engaging a lot of our, all of our abdominal muscles as if they were a corset around our center, our torso. So let's bring our knees down. And we'll come back. We do a little stretch here. So from here, we're going to pull through. And come into an upward facing. Still breathing. Push up into a downward facing. And we can walk the dog a little bit here if you want. Just continue feeling this stretching and this elongating of our body that we've been doing. We can bring the same foot that we had brought back, we can bring it forward. So here we are in another lunge. Again, we're going to be here for a couple of breaths. If you want to stay right here, if you would like to bring your hands overhead, you can bring the arms back, open up the chest, and ease into that position a little bit more. So, we're going to bring our hands down, and again, bring our feet together. So this is just an opportunity to really enjoy stretching into our body, checking in where we're at. And now we're going to do a little bit more of exercises that include stability and mobility. So now we'll be sitting on the mat for a bit. You want to come to a kneeling position. Feel how this feels for your ankles. You can stretch out our toes just a little bit here. And if this feels comfortable for you, then please stretch out your toes. If not, you can sit like this as well. But we'll just do a couple of arm exercises here. So I'm going to have my heels touch, and we're going to open up our arms, and we'll do some little movements up and down to the front and back with our palms facing forward. Bring our palms facing upward. Again to the front, up and down, and to the back as well. Now we'll do little circles, all the same. Palms facing down, palms facing to the front, palms facing up. Okay, so now we're going to be squeezing a lemon with our arms. So let's squeeze and squeeze, and to the front we'll squeeze and squeeze. Up, squeeze and squeeze. Down, and squeeze and back. Now we'll bring our hands overhead, and we'll bring them down and push out. Our hands are in flex, and we're pushing out. We come up, and we push out. Our palms are facing outward the whole time. And push out. Okay. You can rest your arms. I hope that feels pretty good. And also on your feet probably, right? So now we can change positions with our feet, and we can kind of twist up a little bit. Get that counter pose for our toes, you know. See how that feels for the whole front of your ankles. So now we just did that with our hands. Now we'll also do just a little bit of wrist type of mobility. So we'll put our hands down here in a neutral type of position. We can change the direction of our hands. See how that feels. You can sway from side to side, and back a little bit. Just explore all of the sensations in your wrist. You want to do some circles to one side and to the other. We're going to bring our hands back, and we're going to push the face down. Our fingers are facing inward. Circles to one side, circles to the other. Now we're going to begin with some bear walks. If you have more room than I do, so you feel free to use more space. But I'll just be going from the back of the mat and to the front. And I can just move back and forth. If you would like to get a little toe tap in there. One last time. And we'll come up slowly. We're going to come back to the back. We'll just come down however feels most comfortable for you. And we'll do a little bit of crab walk, but we're going to keep our pelvis lifted. And this is a very different position than if we're doing this, right? So just feel this position. It's pretty nice. You can walk to the front of the mat. And back. Also, you can walk to the side. Do a little square here. Move to the front. We're just about to getting ready to begin with our practice, but we'll just do a couple of leg stretches before ending this 20-minute video. So, you would like to come into a tailor's pose. That might be comfortable. You can rock from side to side. Just feel, we've done a little bit of movement movement with our pelvis. I think it's been pretty nice. I hope you've enjoyed it. We can do some circles. Remember, we're just exploring our range of motion. We're getting in touch with our body, seeing how it feels today, and that's what we'll be able to bring into our practice. So now we're going to open up just to wherever feels comfortable to you. And if you want to play around a little bit with like flexing in terms of your toes, leaning forward, leaning back, remember that you're trying to have your spine stacked on your pelvis. Then we're going to flex and lean forward a little bit. This feels very nice. I hope you're able to relax into it. And then we'll come back up. And if you want to point or flex, whichever you prefer, come forward. And with that, I believe you may be ready to begin your practice. Enjoy!